currently 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I've not actually even eaten yet. I don't eat breakfast, haven't eaten breakfast for years. Um, Look, I'm not exactly Arnie, I'm not a bodybuilder. However, I do know a thing or two about nutrition, I like to think. And at the moment, I'm eating purely for performance. I'm not eating to get big. I'm not eating to get ripped, although hopefully that will come. I'm eating purely for my brain health, productivity, etc. So I fast. So this is what I'm eating for my first meal of the day, because you don't need to eat breakfast, but you do need to break fast. That's why it's called breakfast. So you don't need to eat in the morning, okay? If you want to, fair enough. That's up to you. But here's what I'm eating for my first meal of the day. Let me show you. So I've got some leftover mince from last night, which I've just heated through. It's literally just mince. It's not anything else. And I've added some bacon, just cut up bacon. It's not a huge amount, but I've also got some scrambled eggs. And I'm literally just gonna dollop it on top, and that's gonna be my meal for today, with some olives, of course. And this is literally what I'm eating for my first meal of the day. And look, I get it. It looks disgusting. It looks like baby food mixed with a fucking pile of sick. I don't know. I think it looks alright. But to me, that just looks like productivity in the bowl, right? Brain health in the bowl. That's what it looks like to me. Thing is, obviously, the salt. Because sea salt is good for you, despite what people say. I got my olives, right? And there it is. Literally, minced beef, 20%, and some eggs and some salt. And that's my first meal of today. I'll have another meal, we'll have dinner later. And yeah, I'm doing this because, again, for brain health, mindset, I think sleep. But I've always had a bit of a bloated tummy. Even though I've got fairly low body fat, I've just got back into training again, running as well, except I kept getting injured. So I'm into the training again. And despite having like a six pack, I've always had a bloated stomach. And I generally think that's because of too much sugar, too many carbs, probably insulin resistance. So I'm trying to change that with a low carb diet or a no carb diet. And yeah, here we go. This is day one, because I did cheat yesterday, and although most of the day was low carb, I did have a little I did have some potatoes after training, just because they were in the fridge and they needed to be used, so I didn't want to waste it. So today's the first proper day of low carb keto, I suppose. And there you go. Let me know your thoughts. Tell olives. Oh, they're incredible. They are incredible. Oh, and if you do watch this, or if you are watching this, I mean, let's face it, I've got barely any followers, so you're probably not. And you want to know how many calories it is, all the macros, protein, fats, carbs, etc. Well, I'll be honest with you, I don't know, because I don't tend to track calories. I used to when I trained a lot, back in the day when I did powerlifting and football and run, like when I was in the gym all the time, I was tracking calories, trying to gain muscle. I haven't got time for that anymore. I'm 34 years old, I run a business, I'm busy. Now and again, I'll upload to MyFitnessPal just to have a look, but I study nutrition. I've been in that space for a long time, so I know roughly what I'm eating within 50 to 100 calories most of the time anyway. So I'm not bothered about that. I think if you want to lose weight, get fitter, whatever you want to do, I don't think you need to track your calories as much as you think. It becomes boring, you don't stick to it, right? Just eat the right things. Skip breakfast. Delay your first meal of the day as long as possible. There's a lot of benefits to fasting. And I know there's a big, I know a lot of people are divided. And the people who like fasting, like myself, are all for it. And they'll tell you about autophagy and all the benefits there, right? But the biggest benefit, if you don't believe all of that, it's fine. But the biggest benefit, literally, you are shortening your eating window. So it's impossible not to overeat.